A lot of stuff extra in houses nowadays, the codes have just been amplified past what I think is necessary. So
hey everybody, it's Scott from RAVN Homes. We're out in this beautiful Bearspaw area. We just finished doing our decking. But before I go on, make sure you like and subscribe. It really helps our channel. And we're getting a lot more subscribers, so thank you. Anyways, back to the deck. So 2 days ago, I had them scheduled and they came out, and what they have to do is prep the deck, the wood, and that means they have to sand it, and then they have to put metal trim around the edge, and then they have to put like a cement finish on top of all the joints and everything. And so we were just about to put the deck down, and it's like it's where you have to do two adhesives kind of, so you have to let one partially dry. Anyways, it was supposed to rain, but you know, we had this beautiful blue sky, and I said to him, you know what, around here in 10 minutes we could have a big dump of rain or snow. And he said, oh, okay, well, I'll hold off for a bit. So I went off to another job, and I wasn't driving too far away, and so they hadn't put anything down, thank God, or we would have had to replace it all. So now, decks. What's important about them when you are considering a DuraDeck? Deck Smart is the material we use, and it's Heritage Deck and Railing is the company that we use. What's important is when you are going to select what material, you want to make sure that whatever the width is equal to your deck. So these are 6 foot widths. So it's nice to have, like, this is a 6 foot, this is a 6 foot, and this one's just under 6 feet when you roll up the wall. This has to roll up the wall to seal. So when we have our siding on, it's going to come down and it's going to be sealed right from the siding onto the deck and then run off. The reason I say that, when you're figuring out your width of your deck, is that if this is 3 feet, you're going to be paying for the material that they got to cut off. And 3 feet's maybe a bad example because that's half, but still, whatever it is, figure it out so that you're not wasting material. So anyways, that is it. Deck Smart, Heritage Deck and Railing did it. We've got some railing across the back, and we've got stairs that come off of here. Obviously, you'd want to have that. So stairs come off to their beautiful backyard. You're going to have a nice hot tub over here. So they have stairs that come up from the basement, but so then are you, so we got the wall for your walk up there. Like, are you going to snuggle it up against that, or are you going to put it in the middle? Yeah, so why don't we just put the wire in the middle between the deck, and there's a retaining wall there. Okay, so it's here. I just did, yeah. Because here is, okay, so this is the actual, this is the bottom, and this is the top, this is the opening. That's what I mean, like with the mantle. Yeah, it's pretty high. Okay, so we just finished our electrical walkthrough with the Clarks. That's an important thing in a custom home because people have lots of things that they want to add that may not be standard. So little things like, they were not sure about this, but from my perspective, it's very important. And that is, they have a desk here. And we wanted to put a floor plug in, and it's just nice. Rather than having wires going to your walls and everything, you put a floor plug in, and you can have one cord that goes down to that floor plug, and then up to your power bar. Everything else plugs in. Walk around your whole desk. You're not tripping over anything. So I think that's an important thing. They've added a couple of speakers. We've got 2. Well, they actually added 6. We've got 2 in this living area and the great room, as they're called. We've got 2 inside of their kitchen and 2 inside of their ensuite because they like to listen to music. So it's great. Now, here's something that we had to figure out, and this is always a challenge. Lots of people put a TV above their fireplace, but your fireplace has a heat, obviously has heat come off of it, and you can't have anything too close. So there's a formula depending on the fireplace, because some fireplaces are hotter than others. So what you have to do is from the top of the fireplace box, which is here, and the opening of the fireplace is here, you have to figure out what the width or how far out your mantle is sticking, because for every inch that it sticks out, you have to be 1 inch higher than the box of the fireplace in this particular model. Other models may be higher. And then, of course, their TV goes up above it. Not of course, but that's what they have. Now, the TV that they have, they usually just have it with pictures. So, you know, it's like a framed photograph TV. So you can have whatever you want on it, artwork or just your favorite photos. So you have to have it so that it looks right. You can't have your TV too high. You can't have your TV too low. You can't have your fireplace too low. So it's nice to lay it out so you can see that everything's got the correct separation. So anyways, we did that today, and they're going to go back and look at it on AI to see if they like it. So, okay. The other thing is figuring out where your thermostat goes. You don't want your thermostat anywhere near the windows where the sunlight's beating in on it, because obviously that'll change the temperature. So you have to figure that out. We made that decision. Jordan. And now we've got most of the stuff all laid out, and they had a few changes, but in essence, it's all pretty good. And that's it. Talk to your electricians. Have a walkthrough with them, because you might want to plug in a different location. There's code that you have to meet, but generally speaking, you get to make a lot of good choices. So one thing that we did figure out is, so Kelly had a vision of having wall sconces beside her mirrors, and this is just the sink area. She has a makeup desk over here, which has got the lighting that she needs for that. But in order to make the split correctly, we couldn't get it to work because we have a pocket door here. And you can't have the fixture, the actual receptacle of the fixture will be sticking too far in, and we can't have that because it will scratch the door. So anyways, we couldn't do that. So now what we've done is we've changed it, and we're going to have pendant lights. And over in the makeup desk, we have got a lit mirror, and we added some pot lights in here. And the reason we did that is when we changed this to just pendants, and she only wants two, one in front of this sink, one in front of this sink, it just won't have enough light in here. We've got a pot light above the tub and a pot light inside of the shower, but you still need some general lighting when you're in here cleaning. So anyways, so some of that stuff we'll come back and look at when it's all done. All right, so we're out in the garage. This garage has got a couple of things that are a little different than most garages. So for one thing, he's got a fridge. So we have to run a separate circuit out here for his fridge. He's got a gas heater that'll go up in the top here. It's a fan heater. You can come on in, Brady. So we have to get that done. We have to get a plug up there and gas line. We've got Allure lighting, which are those lights that are all around the exterior. I like to have the transformer inside the garage in the attic, and that way it's out of the elements. So we've got to have that wired by the Allure guys. So they'll be out here a little later. He's got a 220 actual compressor. So that has to be put in. We have to put 220 here. This is all bench. He's got some nice high shelves. So we had to make sure we figured out where we were gonna have our plugs. Then he's got the side mounting garage door lifts, a high-rise door on this side because he also has like a car lift, because he's got an old car that in the winter time he just has that raised up. So we have to have a 20 amp plug over there for his lift. So we're getting that done. Brady's over there working like a dog. And so he's done a great job in here. We've got a bunch of extra lights that you don't normally have. So we've got that done, and that's it.